Guess who it is? It's the dirty people. We just sat down for a little bit of homemade lemonade. Hey, you guys, if you want a really delicious homemade lemonade recipe, please comment below. I'll be happy to share the recipe with you. By the way, my name is Leigh. This is Farmer John. Thanks for stopping here at our backyard garden. We're just full of it. It's another dirty day here in New Jersey. What a day, you guys, for those who've been following along. We didn't leave the yard last night until past dark. So by the time we got showered and sat down, it was 10:30 at night. It was a night of it. Another night of going to bed at 1 o'clock in the morning. So today, you know, we had our coffee in the yard. What is that? Please tell me that's spilled lemonade.
Yeah, I think so.
So we came out here, we had our coffee. We immediately started to get assaulted by, what are those things called? The cicada killing wasps. They are aggressive. So we have a huge swarm of them. So look at this. We'll have to show you the label of this thing. This is a battery operated. What's your opinion?
Absolutely not.
No? So it's battery operated and it sends off so many volts of electricity and it's supposed to stun things and you could hear it zapping. But I think it's those bugs. You know, we don't like killing anything. We don't like spraying anything, but I can't risk going into anaphylactic shock with a sting from a cicada killing wasp. So anyway,
they're also going after our parrots. So
they're attacking the birds and they're really aggressive. I mean, we just went through it back here in the garden. So here today was the assault of those cicada killing wasps. We have the spotted lanternflies are now going from their final nymph stage of the red with the white spots to the adults. So I got spotted lanternfly or adult spotted lanternflies in the garden. And then today, we realized that blight set in from the 70% humidity that we're having. The blight set in so bad, the storm had knocked down a bunch of the tomato plants and I didn't even realize it. So that was pushing down all of our beneficial flowers back there. So we just spent the last, I don't know, 2.5 or 3 hours.
About three, yeah.
I'm supposed to be in the kitchen, it's a food day. And we're back there just in the blazing sun. And I mean, this is not a complaint session. This is just the reality of being a gardener, and this is not like a hobbyist garden. We're doing this for real. With 104 tomato plants, you have to be hyper vigilant. We're having here they are, these cicada killers. Oh my gosh. Okay, it's around my legs, so this is scary. They don't like the camera either. So anyway, let me tell you what else we found back there. This is a nightmare. I've had the next round of Kellogg's breakfast waiting for me. They were in a protected spot. I pull one off the vine just to see. Where did it go?
I killed it.
Oh, you took it out?
Yeah.
It had a giant army worm in there. I was waiting and waiting to show everybody. Oh, how did you get it out?
I put a stick in there and it grabbed onto it.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a monkey.
It was like a monkey, Farmer John says. It's a monkey army worm.
No, I'm the monkey. He's the army worm.
Oh, John's like, oh, I'm a monkey. But you can see what he did. He chowed down on it. Now, there's some potential because of the character of this tomato that I might be able to let it ripen a little bit. It left some frass behind. Nasty. Started eating on this one here. I love these. These are my favorite tomatoes of the year, you guys, the Kellogg's breakfast. So luckily I found a few babies of new tomato blossoms back there, so hopefully I'll get some more. So one army worm led to this, me having to pull all these tomatoes because the army worms are present now. The army worms are really annihilating my Roma plants. The Roma plants are crashing and the army worm gets in there, and what it does, it goes under the stem and it just burrows in. So you may not even know, like this plant looked beautiful and pristine just hanging there. I pulled it off the stem and the giant army worm was under there. So, but look at these beautiful tomatoes. Now this one, I spilled lemonade on it because I'm a mess. But this one was getting attacked by squash bugs. This tomato weighs over a pound, you guys. But I wanted to show you, why is everything all wet? So here is the Jersey Devils I'm starting to pull off. Oh my gosh, aren't they gorgeous? So here's a bunch of mortgage lifters in here. I've got all kinds of Grappoli D Invernos. There's Hungarian Hearts. There's Brandywines. So everything got really, really just demanding today. And then over here, we finally started to manage some of these Sweet 100s where I think, did you pull out the plant?
I did not, no.
No, you're just going to manage it?
Yeah, so it was crazy. So a sucker became another plant. So it started growing its own plant.
Yeah,
but there is some that's actually up against the fence. I'm going to let the fence be its support. So, but it's growing up now, and it looks good.
So you're
I'm gonna manage it.
Take note, everyone. You people got my back. So, and then here, Farmer John harvested a batch of blueberries, and wow, these
Blackberries.
Blackberries, yes. I say blueberries when I mean blackberries. I say cucumbers when I mean tomatoes. I say tomatoes when I mean cucumbers. I'm delirious from the heat. But aren't these beautiful? Are there still a lot back there?
Yes.
Lots of tomato action here today, you guys. So, wow, what a blessing. But it's so much pressure because the kitchen is full of them right now. Oh, look at the summer sky there, you guys. Wow, sitting here underneath the umbrella. Nice little breezes blowing, so it's nice to just cool off out here. It's very, very, very hot back there in the main garden. Yes, this is so delicious.
Mine is so gone.
Yours is so gone. Oh, we get one a day. This is how we roll, you guys. No free refills here because this is a sugary treat. Even though I try not to put too much sugar in it, it's still sugar. So this is like our sugar treat for the day, and this is it. But it's all fresh squeezed lemons. Oh my God, it's so delicious. And the lemons, I don't add any salt to this. Some people put salt in their lemonade to intensify the flavor, but this is good, pure, perfectly ripened lemons. And it's like an electrolyte with the citrus. I'm just refreshed after I drink it. It gives me the boost that I need. It's probably the sugar too, but we don't usually drink sugary drinks except for our coffee. But anyway, on a day like today, with all the work that we're doing, a homemade lemonade is just what I ordered. So here's what I really wanted to talk to you about. One of the lessons that we learned back there. We learn lessons every day, every year, every season, every bit of it. We are constant students of the garden. Every year you're going to deal with a little bit of blight. No matter what state you're in, everybody gets it. You can't be a perfect gardener unless you have a whole crew of people who are out here just managing things, putting down all kinds of fertilizers and chemicals and spraying things and grooming things. And, you know, we're real people. We have other responsibilities as well as the rest of you. So, you know, managing something to this scale, which isn't even really all that big, but for two, you know, people like us, it's hard. So, you know, when you're dealing with blight, it comes on really fast when you're having 70% humidity like we are in New Jersey right now, and all these big rains. The rain has been a blessing. And, you know, the most important thing that I keep reminding myself, I like to check myself with this kind of stuff, because last year it was so dry, our lawn was like straw all year long. And I kept praying for rain, praying for rain. And this year we're getting the rain. We're getting it. And we had to water the garden. It was dry for a while. We had to water everything for the first 5 weeks of growing our garden initially. But boy, when the rain came, it brought this beautiful nitrogen to the garden. Everything grew so happy. But when a little bit of blight gets a hold of you know, without proper circulation, I mean, even with proper circulation, we had beds that just sucked up so much water. I have a whole entire bed of Amish paste and San Marzanos that the plants just melted. I'm looking at them. The tomatoes are ripening. They're all ripening okay, but I'm not going to get a second bloom. So, you know, it's very frustrating. So I'm about to lose that investment. But this is the balance. This is, you know, this is why I planted extra this year. You know, even though I just pulled over the last 3 days, I probably pulled about 100 pounds of tomatoes. I'm not even exaggerating. This thing was so heavy that I can hardly carry it. Now's the time where you, what I was going to say with learning a new lesson of the day is, in my not getting back there and managing everything because of all of the crazy weather and just the heat back there, a lot of suckers took off. So with indeterminate tomatoes at a time like this, that can be a blessing, because now the plants that survived everything have healthy canopies, and there's tons of suckers, and I'm able to, don't fly down, Mr. Bro, don't fly down. I'm able to trellis everything up high and truss it tight with all those cute little plastic clips that I got. They've been saving grace for me this year. So, you know, in the several hours that we were back here, I was able to tie off everything. So the only problems and loss that we're having is we lost 2 park swappers, which again, in the last video, you might want to go back and watch our last video. We don't know what's happening with the park swappers. I may reach out to them and see what they have to say directly, so I have some understanding of whether or not, you know, these tomatoes are going to be worth taking up real estate in the garden. And I think they are, because like I keep saying, they're big early producers. They gave us so many pounds of tomatoes already this year. But thank goodness I had the intuition to know that I had to plant other varieties, because these guys normally last us all through the season, but this year they're just not going to. Every year it's getting progressively worse. Now, in the past, I never pruned all the suckers and I just let them run because we wanted quantity, and we were a little bit more green at this back then. We were not really knowing what we were doing. And every day I feel like I don't really know what I'm doing. But I felt like it was important to start pruning everything because of the amount of tomatoes that we were growing. Park swappers do not like to be pruned. I knew that this year, but I did a light pruning anyway. If you're going to grow the park swappers, you guys, be prepared that they're not as truly indeterminate as they used to be, and they don't want to be pruned. They need a place where they can ramble and just take off and do what they want to do. But blight sets in on the park swapper, and I even remember in the past when we used to get big quantities, we would get big sessions of blight with it, but they would still produce all season long. Crazy, crazy how things change. But so now we have the blessing of everything else going to suckers, because the suckers took off. We have flowers. There's tiny tomatoes all up on the top, and I'm talking over 8 feet high up there, that they're starting to hang over. The Hungarian Heart in particular is our highest tomato. I'm looking back at it right now. And running a close second, standing back there, is Dr. Witchy's a Mortgage Lifter. Man, Mortgage Lifter is showing up. What an amazing tomato Mortgage Lifter is. Now, some of these ones, I had to take this whole entire branch off because they were stuck in a weird area. And like I said, I'm worried that the army worm is getting in. And I think that hole there is probably just from the blossom. But these are wonderful little tomatoes. And I haven't tasted one yet. This is our first year growing them. And I have a few ripe ones on the counter. But, you know, it's just really amazing what you learn and what you have to learn to be grateful for. And as a gardener, everyone, we know, for all of those of us who do this, is that you have to take the bad with the good with a day like this, because the bugs are going to come. This is, you know, we're guests here in this planet. This is not really our garden. We're just here to help take care of it. You know, the bugs were here long before we were, and we just have to learn to work around them. And I'm very angry at that army worm for eating my favorite tomato. But they come every year. And the scary part about the army worms is they sneak in and they can take out an entire plant. Oh, and they're gross. So we got to get in there, and I'm probably going to have to start pulling my Roma tomatoes while they're still somewhat green, because the army worm's back there. So it's always something. Now, it's really the heat of the day here, you guys, but as I'm sitting over there looking back at the garden and looking at all the beautiful flowers, you know I keep showing you the same garden every day, but it's so beautiful. These beds really changed a lot since we planted them. You know, we have all the beautiful zinnias coming up, and snapdragons, and now more cosmos are coming up, and I just really love looking back at these flowers from our little table there, and just the magic of the way this garden looks is, it just draws you out. All these different colors. Oh, look how beautiful that looks. Oh my goodness. Gorgeous. Some inspiration for you guys. Look at all the bugs flying around, all of our pollinators. Isn't that incredible? Happy bugs. Gotta plant flowers, you guys. It's so important. All right, so So now the next thing that we have to do when we come back here today is manage the cosmos, because they do get a little wild. But like I said, the tomato plants had fallen down and pushed everything out into the main walkway here. But you can see that everything is really pretty well trussed up now. This took hours to get this bed trussed. And all this, I have to come back out. I completely forgot about this because I was so busy focusing on this main bed here. So now I just have to manage it and make sure that it, it's a little crowded because of the way it's growing. But you can see I've got all of the stems pruned down. We got all of the blight off, or most of it anyway. I can see more now that the light is changing. So this is a necessary thing that you have to do, you guys. You have to manage your tomatoes, because you can expect that they're going to get out of hand and they're going to get sick. So we thin it all out. We've got more humidity coming, so we have to make sure that everything has proper airflow. So I think that's it for me today, because I have to go in and handle food. We have the birds out for a few minutes and they're getting overheated, so in I go for another level of work, and then I have to manage this area of overachievers, the thornburns, terracottas, and everything else. Anyway, you guys, it's always a pleasure. I actually really love it, so I know I'm complaining, but thanks for stopping in and seeing us again, you guys. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give this video a thumbs up and hit the notification bell so you never miss a new video. We'll see you in the next video, you guys. Say goodbye.